Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about audiophile records, the good and the bad. I have been buying a lot of audiophile records. I have fallen into that rabbit hole. I love the sound and I love the quality. And also I love a lot of the pressings that they've been putting out, especially when it comes to jazz and classical music. However, there are some negatives to these audiophile records, and I want to talk about those as well. So I'm going to be showing my recent audiophile finds, as well as some finds that I've picked up that I think sound just as good and they're less money. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate your support. And now let's go ahead and get on and talk about the music. First off is one I'm really happy that I picked up. This is Miles Davis, Porgy and Bess, an incredible record, and this is the Mobile Fidelity original master recording version of it. Sounds fantastic. It's 45 RPM, sounds wonderful. And of course, as always, a beautiful album cover. This was a limited edition run, so this is copy number 2308. I probably caught the tail end of this. I think it's sold out now, not 100% sure, but it's a really great record. And they always put it on really cool vinyl that is like 180 gram, beautiful. And also it always comes with a very nice inner sleeve you don't have to replace, just ready to go. So love having that one. Mobile Fidelity is an audiophile company, as well as Analog Productions put out really great audiophile sounding records. This is Bill Evans at the Montreux Jazz Festival, and I really love this album. I've been wanting to get Bill Evans into my collection. This is my first one I've bought. This is probably not the best one to buy first, but it's the only one available right now. Everything else about Bill Evans on good quality labels sold out. So I love piano music. I love jazz. Piano is probably my favorite. Bill Evans, Thelonious Monk, I love them. So this is a really great one to own as well. Great quality. Again, a beautiful gatefold. And I'm sorry for the glare, you all, but I really love this. Very happy to have it. Here's the label if you want to see this. You know, they do a little bit of a reproduction of Verve Records, but they also add that it's from the Quality Record Pressing, Analog Productions, just a very well done one. And again, audiophile record, it comes with a wonderful inner sleeve. Here is another audiophile company that I had never bought from. This is my first record that I've bought from them, Impex. And they do a really good reproduction of the Columbia 2i label. Miles Davis, ESP. This is a great sounding record. I have no complaints. It's phenomenal. So I would buy from Impex again. I'm really pleased. This is a good Miles Davis album. It's not quite on the same level to me as In a Silent Way or maybe some of his others, but it's up there. It's enjoyable and I highly recommend it. This is a record I found at a record store just a couple days ago. Atmosphere Collectibles in Evansville, Indiana. I got to visit that store. I saw this record and the price was so low on it. It's Elvis Costello's and the Attractions Punch the Clock. This is the Mobile Fidelity original master recording. The price was so low on it that I assumed it was a used record. I grabbed it. And as I was going through records, the idea was I'll check the condition. If it's in good enough shape, I'll buy it because the price was a no-brainer on it. It was still sealed. This was a new record. So I was delightfully surprised by that. And of course we have a nice gatefold. This is again a limited edition record and my copy is 1,349. I love how they do the gold embossing on that. So nice. Most of you probably know the song Every Day I Write the Book. If you don't know it and you watch movies, you do know it because it's on every other movie you ever watch. It's just one of those really happy, feel-good songs that when there's a nice sequence of happy events going on in a movie, this is the perfect song for it. And I just really love how fresh his music sounds. I'm not big on Elvis Costello. I love the song She, don't like the song Veronica. This is really good though. I really like that one and I'm thrilled to have it now. And again, a really nice quality inner sleeve, nice label, beautiful 180 gram record. Now I'm going to show you a huge splurge that I have recently made. I think this is something that I just wanted in my collection. It gets fantastic reviews. You know, it is a classical album, but as far as classical music, if you have this, you may not need anything else. It's that good. This is the Royal Ballet by Analog Productions. This is a very nice box set. And I've kept the shrink wrap on it right now. It's got those hype stickers, but I feel like I'm keeping the shrink wrap on it mostly for a little just added protection. Those of you who have box sets like this, if you have a better way of keeping them than this, you know, it's not as pretty with this shrink wrap on it. But at this point, I don't really know what else to do. But this sounds fantastic. It's probably, I haven't compared it to my MoFi One Steps, but I'd say as of right now, today, this is the best sounding record that I own. It's 5 LPs, 45 RPM, just sounds fantastic. And it is classical music that we all know, and I just thought it was really important to have in the collection, and it's very well done. So something like that is really special and really rare. If you want to own the Royal Ballet and you want to have an original of it, you're looking at about $1,000. That's an expensive record. So I paid a mere fraction of the cost for this really nice box set that sounds fantastic, as you would an original. If you happen to luck into finding an original, a lot of times you're going to be dealing with surface noise. No matter how pristine and well taken care of an old record like that is, there is going to most likely be at least a little surface noise in the best case scenario. That's just the way it is. You know, we're aging. We have our little cracks and pops too, right? So of course the record is going to. But, you know, that's kind of the unusual circumstance. A lot of these audiophile records that I'm running into are records that you see on a daily basis, usually in the cheaper bins, like, and I don't mean any disrespect. These records are selected because they're very popular. They're big records that sold in huge numbers. And a lot of times that's what you're finding in the cheaper bins, records that were huge at one point, that are just not being grabbed up, or maybe there's just so many of them out there that the people who really want them already have them. But anyway, like Linda Ronstadt, she's got a tremendous voice, great records. You know, but they keep putting out these Mobile Fidelity records by Linda Ronstadt, and diehard fans, of course, are buying them up and loving them and thankful for them. However, it's just one of those things. It's hard to justify paying $50 for a record versus the $3 one you see in a bin. My biggest conflict right now is I really like the album by Willie Nelson called Stardust. He sings just some really beautiful ballads. They're very simple and well done. Unchained Melody, Georgia on My Mind, Stardust. It's a really great album, and you see that any day and every day in those cheaper dollar bins. And they're just so inexpensive. But anytime I look at the condition, there's going to be clicks and pops. You're not going to get a perfect record unless you get a sealed copy, and even then you never know. Well, Analog Productions has a beautiful 45 RPM version of that record, but it's $55. That's a huge difference in price, you know, $5 or $3 versus $55. And I know you're getting a much better sounding record that's going to be clean, silent, pristine. Analog Productions is top notch in my opinion. However, sometimes, you know, you think about it, I've been buying these records at on average $50 a pop. Sometimes I'm lucky and they're only $35, or like that Elvis Costello record, I got really lucky. But most of the time, these audiophile records are so expensive that you could get yourself easily either in financial trouble, or you're just not able to find and buy as many records as you like. So that's a huge negative to buying audiophile records. Another negative I have found lately is like the hype around them. They make me nervous. I get these emails from Mobile Fidelity saying Iron Butterfly and Hall & Oates is now in stock, and I'm like, do I really want them? Maybe. They're sold out. Within 20-30 minutes, sold out. And I don't even have time to think about it, you know? And for me, I don't just have a bank full of money where I can just buy anything and everything I want on a whim. I have to think my purchases out. With these records now, you don't really have time to do that. You got to jump on them. And that's a little bit of a stress in what's supposed to be a fun hobby. So, I'm glad they're popular. I think that's fantastic. And I'm hoping that with all these quick sellouts, they're going to get the hint, let's make more of them. But that's stressful as of right now. Also, the secondary markets are a big stressor, because if you miss out on that record when it's in print, guess what? You're going to pay triple price, double, triple price on the secondary markets. They have every right to do that, you all. And when something's out of print, and it's something I really want, I appreciate that someone's willing to sell me a copy. But man, it's a bummer when it's something that just went out of print and boom, automatically double, triple the price. That really frustrates me. Also, these 45 RPM records, I'm not an audiophile expert. I don't really know a lot about that. All I know is I love the sound quality. They're amazing. But man, you have to flip that record over every 15 minutes. And it's probably good exercise for me. But my dog is not having it anymore. She gets very upset. She just gets comfortable and gets to sleep, and poof, I have to get up because she loves laying on my lap. Anytime I'm in the living room, she's sitting on my lap. I have to get up, she gets down, she's not having it. So that's her personal complaint against these audiophile records, especially 45 RPM. The 45 RPM records also, you're talking about when you have 45 RPM, you're going to have more vinyl to purchase. The price goes up. And let me just show you an example. The Royal Ballet here. Okay, so like I said, I'm not an expert. The people who make these records know what's right. But, I mean, just look at the dead wax. Can you see that from here to here? All this is dead wax. And it just makes me think, couldn't it have been, instead of a 5 LP set, maybe a 4 LP set and a little less money? I'm not an expert. They know better than me. They know what sounds best, and they are into perfection. So, that's just a little complaint of mine, but they know better, so I'll leave that alone. Now I want to show you, though, some records that I think sound wonderful. They're not audiophile records, and sometimes you do sacrifice a little bit, but the sound quality of these records is great. Well, I found this one, and I didn't even know it existed. Jazz Sabbath. This was a record store day record that came out, and I totally missed it. It was on blue vinyl. I wanted it. I didn't get it. But they had made a reissue as well. This has killer sound. It's amazing. It is Black Sabbath music put to jazz sounding. So if you're a diehard rock fan that loves Black Sabbath, you may not like this. However, if you appreciate Black Sabbath and jazz, you're going to love this. And it sounds really, really great. There's a story behind it that I don't believe is true about how this was made before Black Sabbath came along. The pianist had a heart attack, was hospitalized. While he was hospitalized, I think like the recording plant where his tapes were burned down. And next thing he knows, Black Sabbath had made their music, and they were alleging that Black Sabbath stole their songs. That's all a made-up story just to kind of help hype this record, to my knowledge anyway. And if you know more about it, you can leave in the comments. But I think it's a cool story, and I really love it. Look at this really cool label. This is an A. I think that's very cool. On the second side, you can tell it's B. That way they don't have anything written on here, but you know which side is which sometimes is hard to tell. Great record. I also picked up this one, Scorpions, Lonesome Crow. Black Sabbath and this Lonesome Crow were also from Atmosphere Collectibles in Evansville, Indiana. I saw where it said Brain Label on it. That immediately got my attention because they're a German label that I think is top-notch quality. And I am very familiar with the Scorpions from the 80s and Winds of Change from the early 90s. This is like a psychedelic record. It sounds fantastic. So I really love having this. It's really good. And as you can see a little bit, they did a little reproduction where you can see the Brain label right up here. I think that's really cool. This is another one that I think is fantastic. And I bought Don't Tell Anybody. I bought the Target exclusive. Please don't tell anybody because people don't like Walmart or Target exclusives. But this is Give Me Some Truth by John Lennon, a fantastic record. And wonderful gatefold. The only thing that would have made it perfect for me is if they would have taken Happy Christmas Wars over off and added Mother. But I know that's on the 4 LP set. This is the 2 LP set, and it comes on a really beautiful blue vinyl. So that sounds fantastic. It's a Target exclusive, not going to be very expensive at all. Here is another really great record that I would say doesn't cost as much money. Ball Maria, this is Clear Language, a beautiful record. This was given to me as a gift. And what blows my mind is this is a gift given to me by Steve Carlson. He has a wonderful channel. He has the early Sunday morning show that I try to watch every Sunday morning. It's fantastic. This is the guy that lost, out of 12,000 records in the collection, he was only able to save 400 because of a flood that happened in his basement. That happened last year. He sent me a record for Christmas, if you can believe that. That to me is just unbelievable how generous and kind he was, even when he probably had one of the worst years of his life. So to me, that's just very humbling and unbelievable. It shows the generosity of people here in our vinyl community. This is a really good record. Sounds amazing. And I just am blown away. And I want to read this right here because I want to make sure I get this correct. The guitarist on this record is Michael Muller, and he has his own YouTube channel, Noted and Archived. I've watched that channel, and I believe he's one of the guys who does some of the Four Corners series, if you've ever ran into that here in the vinyl community. This is a wonderful record. Sounds amazing. And this is what I call a modern classical record with a twist. You know, when we have friends over, or we want to sound cool or seem like we're cool people, we put this one on because it is beautiful. It's modern sounding, yet it's got a classical, just gorgeous sound. So those are records I highly recommend that are not audiophile. I love audiophile records, so even though I named all those negatives about them, I think they're fantastic. And that is my video for today. Leave your comments below and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.